If I had to describe Alysa Liu's performance that won her the gold medal at the Winter Olympics recently, I would use one word: transcendent. It wasn't just that she won the gold medal, it was about how blissful and elegant and carefree and free she was on the rink. I don't think I have been so fascinated by a person in a very long time. Until about 5 days ago, I had no idea who Alysa Liu was. And over the past 5 or 6 days, I have watched innumerable interviews of her. I think more than anything else, I have really sort of tried to understand how she operates and her energy. And it's been so fascinating because when I looked at the other Olympians, they were obviously like extremely good. They're at the very pinnacle of what it means to be athletes. I get that. But there was this sense of like seriousness and the sense of like, I am here to win and I'm going to show the world that I can do it. It was a very willpower, ambition driven thing. Alysa is an interesting character. She, a couple years ago, 3 years ago, quit, said, hey, I'm 16, I'm retiring from the sport altogether. And about 2 years ago, she was like, you know what, I actually want to skate because I love the sport. I want to come back to it, but on my terms. And she, even like a month ago, when she won the US championships and she, when asked whether she wanted to win at the Olympics, she was like, no, I'm there to entertain and to hype people up and to have fun. She has this detached energy to her. She cares about her craft a lot. She cares a lot about having fun. She cares a lot about entertaining the crowd. But it's not caring in the sense of like, oh my God, if this doesn't work, that means I have failed. It wasn't that at all. It was like very carefree, very chill, very non-attached. Like, I'm gonna go there and just like have fun. I think that was the only motto in her head. Um, in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm Indian. I was raised Hindu, so in the Bhagavad Gita, there is this verse that says, I'm giving you the translated version, a concise version that says, hey, you are meant to just do the thing. You don't really have a say in the fruits of your labor. You just, basically, it speaks to this concept of non attachment, that you're just meant to do your thing and let the universe do the rest. And like, not expect anything. It's that thing of non expectation. Man, I feel like I truly saw it in action with Alysa and Alysa's performance. It was so beautiful. It was just so transcendent and just so beyond anything I'd expected, anything I have ever seen before. There was this just pure, unbridled joy in her, this exuberance that was emanating from her. And she was like proud and happy that she won and all of that stuff. But I think more than anything else, she was like, my God, I love the performance. I loved my performance today. I loved how I hyped people up. That's a very different mindset, And not many people, I think, are able to be in that state. Certainly not me. I get a little too attached to, I think, outcomes and assigning my worth to whatever I do, as if somehow how something that I do turns out determines my worth. I think I'm actively deconditioning from it, and I've been doing well. But just seeing this woman go out there and do such an amazing job was like a whole different level. There was one more thing I wanted to share. So, you all know that I'm very into human design. If you don't know what human design is, it is basically a system that shows you how you're designed to operate in the world. It is a mystical system, but I have found it to provide a lot of practical insights. It's pretty awesome. I have loved how useful and applicable it's been in my life, how helpful it's been for me. Let me just add her chart over here. Let me just show you what I observed. Um, Give me just a second. Where is it? Here you go. Okay, let me add this. I'm just gonna pull it up over here. So, if you all see, she is a projector. So, what I did was, I did not really know her exact time of birth. So, I sort of looked at her chart for the whole day, honestly, and I'm going to just like highlight the parts that don't change with the day, like with the time of the day. So Alicia, or rather, sorry, Alicia is the name of my friend, one of my friends. Alysa is a projector. She is a self-projected projector. So what I want to draw your attention to is that she has just two centers defined: her identity center and her throat center. And they are connected by all three channels. So if you see over here, you see these three channels. Yeah, so connected by all three channels between her throat and her identity center. And what this means is she has a very strong sense of identity about who she is, what she's come here to be. Her sense of direction comes from inside of her. And that's directly connected to the throat center. Throat center is the center of manifestation, the center of expression, of communication. So there is this internal sort of configuration that requires her to express her authentic self, like her identity, herself, like all the time. It's and all three channels are defined. So she has, and each channel has a different flavor, but I'm just like focusing on the zoomed out feeling flavor of the chart. And I'm sharing this because like this was so true. Like it was so true that every single step of the way for her, it has been about self-expression. She has wanted to do her. And honestly, I don't think she gives even the slightest, she has the slightest concern with how she's perceived or how she's supposed to behave. I think as a child, just like listening to her interviews as a child, you have to listen to your parents and you have to sort of adapt because that's how you survive. But then when she became an adult, she was like, I'm going to do things my way. That I'm going to do things my way kicked in pretty early when you think about it. So yeah, I just love how, the chart describes her so well from what I've read and what I've seen. I also like that her, if you see, her ego center is not defined. Ego is all about like proving your worth and drive and, you know, um, willpower. And people who have their ego centers undefined, like her, are not meant to want to prove themselves like that. Not that they shouldn't, not that it should not be like a consequence, but that shouldn't be their driving force. I have the same configuration. In fact, I also have like just two centers defined in my chart, so I feel a lot of kinship with her chart. So when a person does not have their ego center defined, they're sort of meant to be like, I have nothing to prove. I have my worth is inherent. I have nothing to prove to anybody. And they are meant to get their direction and definition from the centers that are defined. And she gets them from her identity center and her defined throat. So long as she's honoring that, she's honoring her truth and expressing herself, expressing her truth. Like, even with something as simple as a piercing, like in her mouth, inside her mouth, that's so her. Not many people like have that kind of a piercing that's so uniquely her, and that points to authenticity and authentic self-expression. Because expression isn't just verbal, it's like skating, it's physical, it's how we dress, how we carry ourselves. Like, every single thing is self-expression. And you can see how very her she is. Yeah, I just wanted to share this because I found it so fascinating. I hope you did too. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Like, truly, I've been so obsessed with her chart and Alysa's story, and I'm so inspired by her. I would love to hear your takeaway. Any thoughts you have about her chart. Also, if you want me to look at her chart in more depth, let me know that too. More than happy to do that. All right, wherever you are, I'm sending you so much love. Peace.